Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bobby Holcomb Field in Oxford. Brad Kennedy along with our cameraman Rob Morgan and football analyst Scott McCord. It's homecoming here in Oxford as the Chargers set to do battle with the Hernando Tigers in a critical Division I 4A game. The Chargers lining up to kick off. Hernando decked out in solid gold. Both these teams come in here with 3-1 records in the division. And Scott, even though the playoffs don't officially start for a couple of weeks for both of these two teams, I guess you could say they start tonight.
That's definitely the case for both teams. The loser of this game definitely going to have backed themselves into a corner. They're going to have some help if they're going to have any chance of making the playoffs. The ironic thing about this night is if Lafayette wins tonight and Oxford wins tonight, well, then next week will be the showdown to see who gets to go on to the playoffs. It won't be the usual loser-leave town match. It'll be the winner leave town to go and play the winner of the other division.
We're just about set to kick off. Kicking off for the Chargers, number 84, Jamaris Sims. He kicks deep to Orthel Edwards over on the left side, and Edwards still on his feet out across the 45-yard line, and so the Tigers will start in good field position here in this ball game tonight. We last saw this Hernando team go down in defeat to Lafayette about 3 weeks ago in a game in which they lost their starting quarterback, Kevin Dockery, but Dockery is back in action tonight, and that should make a big difference for Hernando.
Hernando has good starting field position from a 41-yard line. Again, the Oxford defense being asked to stop them, so they were able to run the football back and get this good starting field position to start the game tonight.
This is a big Hernando team. They want to run the football much like the Itawamba Indians that we saw here a couple of weeks ago. First and 10 for Hernando. Dockery. Penalty markers come down. Dockery rolling to his right, looking for Robinson on the right side. Delwan Robinson. He was covered by number 19, Andre Redden, for the Chargers, and it's incomplete. And it looks like illegal motion, illegal shift called against Hernando, and that will march them back 5 yards.
Yeah, a lot of pregame activity here tonight as it is homecoming. We saw the seniors recognized in their traditional final hit of their career, as they called it tonight, as Coach Hill stood around the 40-yard line and let them take a long run into a dummy.
Well, they said it was their last lick, Scott, and I thought they were talking about letting them kiss their mother before the game started, but they were talking about something else. 5-yard penalty assessed against Hernando. They put 3 backs in the backfield. Dockery hands off. That's Kendrick Crawford with the football, and Kendrick has a pretty good gain out to about the 45.
Well, you're going to see this big Hernando offensive line try to push the Oxford defense around, and that situation was able to open a pretty nice hole right up the middle.
We'll hear Kendrick Crawford's name a lot tonight. He is their premier running back. They hand it off again to Crawford on the right side, and he picks up a couple of yards before being stopped by Donald Cole. Josh Ivey in there on the stop as well. Pickup of about 2 yards. Brings up 3rd down and 3. Ball on the 47.
Brad, we're seeing something that I don't remember seeing any other time this season out of the Hernando offense, and that's a power I formation here as they run the football out of it.
Well, now they come back to the regular I. They've got Crawford, the deep back. And now we've got motion before the play. The receiver over here, 85. He jumped.
He was halfway to the goal line before the snap.
That route may have been for him. So we'll check on that penalty. Illegal shift, the call again. So that'll bring up 3rd down and about 8 yards. 10:20 to go, first quarter. No score in the ball game, Hernando and Oxford.
Hernando getting off to a little shaky start here early. Maybe some nerves as they know how big a game this is. Already with 2 penalties on the night here on the first drive.
Beautiful night for football, warm night. Temperature in the mid-70s, very comfortable. Third down, about 8 yards to go. There's a handoff. That's Edwards. Edwards still on his feet, close to the first down, and he appears to have it. Out just across the 49-yard line.
Oxford's going to have to do a lot better job tackling, as they had 3 or 4 men have a shot at the running back well short of the first down, but were unable to bring him down with arm tackles, and he was able to pick up that first down.
Fourth play of the drive, 1st and 10 in Oxford territory. Here's Crawford up the middle. Good pickup that time, about 4 yards. Chad Harris there to make the tackle for Oxford.
Again, Hernando dissatisfied with this power running game, as they're not doing anything fancy, just running it straight ahead. They're able to pick up some good yardage.
Well, you'll be surprised when they throw the ball. I think the receivers are surprised every time they throw the football. Now they put a man in motion to the right, I formation. Here's a pitch back to Crawford, goes on the right side. Good running, should have the first down to about the 36-yard line. Justin Murphy there on the tackle. So another first down.
Just appears that the Chargers just a little bit hesitant. Maybe this pregame activities got their mind a little bit off of focus, and they'll have to do a little bit to step up here and get back in this game.
5-man defensive front for Oxford. They hand it off to Orthel Edwards around the left side. And he's got good yardage before he's brought down by Nevin Mitchell, senior linebacker, running back. And Jason Keller in on the stop. About a 7-yard gain that time for Edwards.
Well, it appears that Hernando's just going to mix up the run. They're not going definitely to any one slot or one position. It's just some side to side, and getting a lot of good blocking as they're able to pick up positive yardage.
Well, they like to keep the football when they get it. They're a time of possession team. They hand it off to the first man through, and that's Edwards again. Nevin Mitchell and Jericho Armstrong bring him down, but not before he picks up a couple of yards.
Good stop there by the Oxford Chargers, though. They were there at the line of at the offensive line and was able to stop him with a short gain.
3rd down and 1. Big 3rd down play for the Charger defense. 3 backs in the backfield. They hand it off to Crawford, and he has the first down. Let's see where they mark it. Charles Welshin's there to make the tackle. He's down to the 27-yard line.
I know one thing about it, Brad, there just ain't a lot of color commentating to be done with this style of football. It's just smash it right up the defensive gut and see who can push the pile of fathers.
1st and 10, Hernando, 6:50 to go in the first quarter. They hand it off to Crawford again up the middle. He's got good yardage. Donald Cole there to make the tackle. 6-yard gain down to the 19-yard line.
Now the Charter defense is going to have to get a little bit more physical. They're getting pushed around by these big guys. They need to stop Hernando short of the goal line and force them to either punt this football or try a field goal.
10th play of the drive. 2nd down, 5. They put a receiver in motion to the right, and it looks like the Chargers may have jumped off sides. And that is the penalty. So 5 yards against Oxford.
Chargers just misfiring a little bit right now. They just, like I said earlier, they're just not quite focused as we seen them last weekend, or last week, as week before last they played Itawamba. They were really fired up for that football game, and I believe they're going to have to get that type of intensity tonight if they're going to expect to beat this Hernando team.
So now we have the referee coming in, and they're going to, they say this is close enough for a measurement on 2nd down. They've already picked up 3 first downs on this drive. It is going to be close, but just short by a few inches. So it's 2nd down and inches. The ball resting on the 15-yard line of Oxford. 6:09 to go in the first quarter. Hernando sends 2 receivers wide to the right, Damian Guy and Kyle Cleveland. I formation, Edwards the deep back, Rice the up back. Cleveland comes in motion to the right. They give it to Edwards on the left side, and not much there, but he may have the first down. He didn't need much. Nevin Mitchell there to make the tackle.
Mitchell's all over the place. We've called his name already 3 or 4 times on tackles tonight. However, he was able to get the first down, and so Hernando keeps possession of the ball and continues to march down the field.
First and 10 Hernando, ball on the 13-yard line of Oxford. Full house backfield again, 2 tight ends. They hand it off to Rice. Rice over the right side, tackled by Josh Ivy.
Well, we got to see the defense break through that big line that time and stop the running back with a very short gain. This is definitely something Oxford's going to have to do tonight on defense, is they're going to have to utilize a little bit of quickness and just try to get around those big guys before the play really gets started good in order for them to stop these running backs.
2nd down, 9. This is the first long yardage 2nd down they've had in a while. They give it to Crawford, goes left, cuts back, picks up about 5 yards.
Crawford doing a good job of following his blocker out there, as it looked like Oxford had the play strung out exactly like they wanted to, but Hernando had a blocker out there, was able to take 2 Oxford Chargers down and allow the running back to turn the corner for good yardage.
3rd down, 4 yards to go, ball on the 7-yard line. Again, the 2 tight ends. 5-man front for Oxford. They fake the handoff. Here's Dockery rolling to his right, looking for Robinson, and he completes the pass, but Nevin Mitchell is there to make the stop.
Mitchell with a great open field tackle. So he's going to prevent Hernando from getting the first down. They're going to be about a yard short. It's going to be interesting to see if they go for it here or they kick a field goal. Appears that they're going to leave the offense on the field. They are very confident that they can get a couple of yards.
4th and 1. 3:45 to go in the quarter. And so now Hernando takes a timeout, so we'll take one as well. No score in the ball game. You're watching the Oxford Chargers on Galaxy Channel 12. And we're back here at Oxford, 4th and 1. The Charger fans urging on their team. Ball on the 4-yard line. Hernando, they give it to their big running back. See who that was. Like number 61, no, 51. Mario McMahon, the ball carrier.
The fridge.
And it's going to be close. So we'll have timeout for a measurement, and that will give us an opportunity to tell you about the folks who bring you Oxford Charger football. Cheney's Pharmacy, Pylon Wholesale Furniture, Glenn Brown Insurance, Dr. Watt Bishop Orthodontics, Ray's Supermarket, Hunter's Hollow, Grisani Rebel Motors, Treasurer's Jewelry in the Oxford Mall, University Sporting Goods, Belk Ford, Johnson's Furniture, Taco Bell, Mechanics Bank, serving you in 3 locations, and he does have enough for the first down. State Farm Insurance agents Tom Davis and Marty Stark, the Ajax Diner on the Square in Oxford, and Dr. Chris Matthews Family Dentistry. Dr. Chris Matthews, located at 229 South 9th Street here in Oxford, 236-5858 for all your dental needs. They have a registered dental hygienist on staff. They do cosmetic restoration or just regular preventive dental care. So for all your dentistry needs, go by and see Dr. Chris Matthews. They pick up the first down. It's 1st and goal from the 4. And they hand it to Crawford. He's tackled by Josh Ivy.
Yeah, Brad, you need to go have a little bit of that cosmetic stuff done. Wouldn't hurt you any.
All right.
What were we doing now?
Some comments. 2nd and goal. They pitch it back. And he's down close to the goal line. Charles Welshins there to make the stop.
He's about as close as you can get without being in. There's a little bit of controversy there as to whether or not he didn't make it in, but the official ruled his knee down just short of the goal line as Oxford was able to knock him down at that point.
Gary Pollard, the running back. So it's 3rd and 1.
Hernando's had the ball now for about 9.5 minutes.
2:20 to go. And here's Dockery on the keeper, spins around and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. So a 1-yard plunge for Dockery. And he scores to make it 6-0 with 2:20 to go here in the first quarter. The extra point on the way and good. So with 2:20 to go in the quarter, the Hernando Tigers take a 7-0 lead. So we'll take a timeout. You're watching Charger football on Channel 12. Keller takes the kick at the goal line. He's out across the 20, slips a tackle, still on his feet. Out to the 30, and the ball's loose. And they're going to rule him down back at the 30-yard line. So a good run back for Jason.
Well, we'll get our first look at the Charger offense on the night and see if they can answer the call. Hernando was able to take a long and sustained drive and stick it in the end zone for 7. Now let's see if the Charger offense can answer.
The Hernando drive, 16 plays, 59 yards. Goes almost over 9.5 minutes. The 1-yard touchdown run by Dockery to finish it off. So a dominating drive. 1st and 10. Turner Barnes, a quarterback, and he pitches back, trying to pitch it back to Nevin Mitchell. And Nevin couldn't find a handle on the football.
Hernando was poised to bring the blitz and did bring the blitz, but the Oxford offense fumbling the football in the backfield didn't give them an opportunity to try to do anything.
A loss of 4, and now we have a Hernando player down. Let's see who that is. Ben Perry, linebacker, a junior. And he's up and looks like he's able to walk off. So that brings up 2nd down, 14, 1:50 to go here in the first quarter. Here come the Chargers. They send Gowan in motion to the right. Turner Barnes rolling right under pressure. Eludes a man, eludes another man. He's going to keep. And Turner only picked up a couple of yards. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage that time. Jarrell Robinson, number 45 for Hernando. He was on to that play as soon as it got started.
Again, Hernando bringing everyone. It appeared that they were on a full blitz, and Barnes ran right to the side that the blitzers broke through, and this really didn't ever have a chance to try to go downfield as he had planned on.
Third down, 13. Here's a handoff. Petrie straight up the middle, not much there.
Yeah, the Oxford offense not having a good outing.
Check that.
On their first possession. It appears Hernando has come fired up to play tonight as their defense come out and just swarmed all over the Oxford offense on their first possession.
Gowan in to punt. We're under a minute to go in the quarter. Back deep is Kyle Cleveland. He gets a punt away. Pretty good one. Hits at the 35. Takes an Oxford bounce, and Jason Keller downs it at the 25. So 10.8 seconds to go in the first quarter. So 3 and out. Three and out for the Chargers, and Hernando will take over on their own 25-yard line.
Not just a 3 and out, a lost yardage, as Oxford was not able to do anything on their first possession with with a fumble and a sack of the quarterback. So the defense has really got to come up big on this possession.
Hernando hands it off to Crawford up the middle, picks up a couple of yards. Jericho Armstrong there to make the stop. And there's the horn on the first quarter. We've played one here in Oxford, and the Hernando Tigers on top 7-0. You're watching Charger football on Galaxy Channel. And we are back here in Oxford as you take a look at the big homecoming crowd on hand, witnessing all the festivities here tonight. Now, right now, they're witnessing a dominating performance by this big offensive line of the Hernando Tigers. 7-0, Hernando on top as we begin the second quarter. Tigers with the football on their own 27. They hand it off to Crawford. He goes right, then cuts back across the grain to the left. Crawford still on his feet around the left side across midfield, and finally run out of bounds by Nevin Mitchell. He covered a lot of yardage on that play.
This running back's got a lot of speed as he was able to just outrun the Oxford defenders, picking up blocks along the way, and gained a ton of yardage as he was able to sweep around the end and just outrun the defenders to the sideline.
A 31-yard pickup all the way down to the 42-yard line of Oxford. And a first down for Hernando. 1st and 10, ball on the Oxford 42. They hand it off Edwards up the middle, and he's driven back. Youngblood and Welshins there to make the stop for the Chargers.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that the Chargers better start making. They were able to plug that whole middle up, and it was more than just one man trying to make a tackle. You saw 3 or 4 blue jerseys in the area of the football. That's something Oxford's going to have to start doing, is getting those people there, stop these running backs before they eat up this yardage.
2nd down, 8. Ball on the Oxford 40. Power I formation. Here's the quarterback on the keeper, and he's dropped for a loss. Jason Keller and Nevin Mitchell.
Yeah, that may be the kind of play that the Oxford defense needed, a big loss. They were there. They were all over that play and was able to throw the quarterback down. Let's see if the defense now can rise up and force this Hernando team to punt the ball and get the offense back on the field.
All the way back to the 50-yard line, and it brings up 3rd down and 18 yards to go. Lost 10 on that play. They send 2 receivers wide to the right, I formation. Now Cleveland comes in motion to the left. Here's Dockery. He hands it off to Edwards. Edwards up the middle, not much there.
Well, he just kind of run into the middle of the whole Oxford team, it looked like, as they were able to stand him up. Looks like we're going to see Hernando have to punt.
So a good stand that time by the Oxford defense. And Hernando will punt. And they send them after it, and they block it. Ball still loose. And finally, they get Edwards down over there on the left side. And so a big defensive play for the Chargers.
That's just a great play. They were 2 men that
Jason
broke
Keller
through.
was right there. I didn't see who the other player was, but I know Keller was one of them. So the big block punt.
That's 2 things that Oxford needed, a big defensive stand and then almost like a turnover there. It's not a turnover, but it's a block punt. And with this kind of field position, and we need to do something with it to score.
So that time, it's Hernando that loses yardage. Oxford takes over, 1st and 10, ball on the 38-yard line. They give it to Nevin Mitchell around the right side. Mitchell loses the football. Chad Harris there to pick it up. So a frantic pace right now.
Mitchell running hard. He's wanting to win this football game, and as a defender made contact with him, the football came out, but Oxford able to recover the ball and still gained 4 yards on the play.
Here's Oxford. Barnes back to throw. Has Smith over on the left side. Complete. Barnes
able to whip that ball across the field. Looks like he's got a little bit more confidence too as this drive starts over the last drive. The offensive line doing a much better job blocking. And we're moving the footballs. We've got our first down of the game here almost halfway through this first half.
1st and 10 for the Chargers. Here's a quick pass. Complete to Bart Smith on the right side. Short pickup. Down to about the 17-yard line.
Not a very big pickup, Brad, but it's going to make these corners and safeties play honest, and will probably open up a little bit of the running game a little later on.
2nd down, 8. I formation. They show a blitz. Here's Nevin Mitchell up the middle with some running room. Down to about the 10-yard line.
Mitchell able to avoid the blitzer because he hit the same hole the blitzer did. As the blitzer came by, he was blocked just a little bit, allowed Mitchell to get in that hole that he ran through and make good yardage. Still a little bit short of the 1st down, about 2 yards shy.
3rd down and 2. Ball closer to the 11-yard line.
Big play right here.
7:13 to go in the first half. Mitchell the lone setback. Here's Barnes back to pass. Looks for Keller, and the pass is incomplete. There to meet Jason Keller as soon as he caught that football was Rob Ramage.
Hernando,
number 88.
Hernando almost read that play as that was a dangerous play So he had to throw the ball so far across the field, and there were several defenders in that area. And if that ball would have been picked off, there would have been no one there to stop them from scoring.
4th and 2. Ball on the 11-yard line. I formation. Kent Gowan, Fortenberry, split wide to the right. And now Turner Barnes wants a timeout. So we'll take a timeout as well with 7:03 to go, second quarter. Hernando on top 7-0. You're watching Charger. And we're back here at Bobby Holcomb Field. 7:03 to go, second quarter. Hernando leading 7-0. 4th and 2 for the Chargers on the Hernando 11-yard line. Anthony Smith goes in motion to the right. They give it to Nevin Mitchell on the handoff. Nevin sweeping around the right side, and he is very close.
I don't know if he quite made it, though. It looks like he may be a little bit short. Let's hope for a little bit of a help on the spot.
They will bring the chains across. Or it looks like they're going to. Yes, they'll bring the chains across and check on this one. But it's going to be very close. And he is short.
A huge play by the Hernando defense.
So Hernando takes over on their own 9-yard line, leading 7-0 with 6:55 to go, second quarter. So the Chargers, after getting the block punt, unable to cash in. First down for Hernando. They give it to Rice. Over the left side, Michael Rice. Donald Cole there to make the tackle.
Well, let's see if the defense can cause something to happen. Maybe we get a turnover right back down here deep. The offense didn't look too bad on that last possession. Just unable to get that first down when it counted and keep the drive alive.
Second down. They hand it off up the middle. That was Edwards.
Brad, we keep talking about how big this Hernando team is. If you look across the front line, here are the weights of 4 of the guys that are on the front line that the Oxford Charger defense is trying to get through. 343, 336, 355, and 356. Now, there's a lot of Division I college football teams that don't have a line that large.
Well, they are big. Question of maybe how athletic they are. 5:40 to go in the quarter. They hand it off. This is Crawford up the middle, and he appears to have the first down. Out to the 23-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 23. Hernando puts 2 receivers on the left side, I formation. Crawford the deep back, Rice the up back. They pitch it back to Crawford. Kendrick around the right side, picks up about 3 yards before he's tackled. Charles Welshins and Chad Youngblood there to make the stop.
Brad, this isn't the only big game tonight. As we look around the area, just briefly, Pontotoc plays basically for their season tonight as they have to travel to Corinth and try to knock off the Corinth Warriors, and they hadn't lost one yet in division tonight, so they've got their hands full as well.
That Division I 3A, that may be the toughest football division. I know it's probably the toughest in North Mississippi and maybe the toughest in the state. Here's a handoff up the middle, Crawford. He's out to the 36-yard line. About a 7-yard pickup.
Now the big news this week, it appears as though what we're going to see next year in 2, 3, and 4A is we're going to have the same playoff system as they have in 1A and 5A, and we'll talk more about that in a little while.
1st and 10, Hernando. Rolling right, trying to hit Delwan Robinson. Dockery hit him right in the face mask.
I think I see what you mean about the receivers being surprised. That guy, it hit him right in the, not in the numbers, but it's like you said, right in the mouth. The next year, according to the Daily Journal, in yesterday's paper, it looks as though the 2, 3, and 4A schools are going to join the 1 and 5A schools and having regional type playoffs, which will allow more teams from each region to get in. And you'd have a situation where maybe a Punatucka, Ripley, and a Corinth, all three could get in.
Here's a handoff up the middle to Rice. And let's see where they spot this one. He got out to about the 42-yard line, so a 6-yard pickup for Rice. The official signal first down, but I think what he meant was that the player was down.
Youngblood came out of the pile there with a football, but the official saying that the whistle was blown prior to the fumble.
3rd and 4. 3:20 to go, first half, ball on the 42. They hand it off to Crawford up the left side, and he has a first down, but a penalty marker comes in.
It's definitely in the area of holding. The Chargers come out of there smiling, so they probably believe it's on the Hernando.
So the referees, the officials try to sort this one out. As a parade of automobiles makes its way into the stadium. All part of the homecoming activity. Getting ready for the big halftime ceremonies.
Always good to have ceremonies.
Holding is the call. They declined that one. There must have been 2 penalties. There was a fumble on the end of the play, Rob informs us, and so the Chargers will get the football. I was watching the penalty and didn't see the fumble.
Well, I saw a fumble, but I didn't realize it was actually going to count. I guess I don't know. That's why the Charger defense was running off so happy. I thought it was just a penalty. Yeah, we got another penalty here, maybe a delay of game or legal shift.
And it's offsides against Hernando.
Hernando committing several errors here in succession. Oxford's they've got to take control here and move the football down the field and get a score before this half. As this quickly winding down, this Hernando running game is just taking the time right off the clock.
So it'll be 1st and 5, ball on the 48-yard line of Hernando. Here's a handoff, Nevin Mitchell up the middle. Nevin slips a couple of tackles, now spins around and appears to have enough for a first down.
Now the Oxford offensive line not making big holes, but the running backs have been able to find those holes and exploit them for some pretty nice gains. We hadn't saw one of those real long gains yet, but just a couple of tackles away right there, and Mitchell would have been on his way.
7-yard pickup, 1st and 10 for the Chargers. 2:40 to go in the half. Here's Barnes dropping back, looking for Gowan down a sideline, and it's batted away. A good defensive play that time for Hernando. Orthel Edwards there.
Edwards is step for step. The football is on the money, but one of those deals where maybe if it would have been thrown just a little bit farther, that it would have been able to come up with a great catch. But it was really just a good defensive play is all you can say there.
Second down, 10. Ball on the 40-yard line of Hernando. 7-0, Tigers in front. They fake the handoff to the first man. Now give it to Nevin Mitchell, and that didn't fool Delwan Robinson. They're a very talented linebacker, and Nevin is dropped for a loss of about 4 yards. All the way back to the 44.
I don't think there's any question about that guy's athletic ability.
He is a good one. He makes a lot of plays for them on the defensive side of the ball. And we also see him a good bit at tight end for Hernando. Third down. And now we have a delay of game penalty against the Chargers.
Things just not going too well for the offense right now.
The Chargers go back 5 more. Brings up third down and 19 from the 50-yard line.
You get yourself in a situation, if you try to get this first down, you really expose yourself to a turnover, so we'll see what they choose to do.
Here's Barnes dropping straight back, pump fakes, under pressure from Wadley. Barnes still on his feet, penalty flags everywhere. Now Turner heaves it downfield looking for Jason Keller, and it's incomplete, but big number 75, Johnny Watley, he was all over Turner Barnes, and there was only one thing the Oxford offensive lineman can do was grab that jersey.
Well, we got a holding and a block in the back, I believe would be the second flag.
You're right, the clip.
75, though, he had her full speed.
Well, 75, Watley, he was a preseason top 40 player in the state by the Clarion Ledger.
He's a pretty big old boy.
You're right about that one. So they will just decline both penalties and take the result of the play, which is an incomplete pass. And that will bring up fourth down, and so the Chargers will have to punt. Kent Gowan standing back at his own 35-yard line. Kyle Cleveland back deep for Hernando. Gets the punt away. It's a short kick. There to recover it for Oxford is A.J. Rawson down at the 33-yard line, so a 17-yard punt.
Number 75, Brad, I was just looking on the roster. He's 355 pounds of big boy. Well, we got to have a situation where the Oxford defense holds Hernando here and not prevent them from making another score. They're still in the ball game, even though they've pretty much been dominated this first half.
First and 10, Hernando, I formation, and now some confusion before the play, and the pass back is fumbled, but it appears that Hernando has recovered back at the 23-yard line, and I don't think anybody knew what was going on.
I thought the official was blowing the play dead or something. Well, I think maybe the quarterback did too.
He was blowing his whistle to start the clock, I believe is what was happening, and that confused the quarterback, Dockery, and the running back.
It's pretty confusing.
So a loss back to the 29. Check that, the 24.
We're getting our look at the homecoming court for this year as they're making their rounds around the track here, waving to the crowd. Now, if you wanted to see some entertainment, if they started racing these cars with those girls back here, now that would be pretty good entertainment.
Well, that would mess up the ceremony, though, Scott. You can't have it both ways.
Well, it depends on what kind of ceremony you'd want to have.
Well, we got a timeout on the field. That will give us an opportunity to tell you about some of our sponsors. Well, we'll get to that here in just a minute as we're about ready to start play. The analysis of the parade prevented us from getting the spots in that time. Here's a pitch back to Crawford. It looks like he's going to throw, and now he'll have to tuck it in and run with it. Not much there. He might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage.
Now Oxford defense doing a good job of staying at home and covering their man as they were able to stop that halfback pass. Looked for a moment like it might work as there was no defenders in the area, but like I said, everyone stayed on their man, and the defenders was able to close the gap and make the tackle.
So we do have a timeout now called by Oxford, and that will give us an opportunity to tell you about our sponsors here on Charger Football. Tonight's game being brought to you by Dr. Chris Matthews Family Dentistry on 229 South 9th Street in Oxford. Call 236-5858 for all of your dentistry needs. That's Dr. Chris Matthews, 236-5858, 229 South 9th Street in Oxford. Our other sponsors for tonight's game: Cheney's Pharmacy, Pylon Wholesale Furniture, Glenn Brown Insurance, Dr. Watt Bishop Orthodontics, Ray's Supermarket, Hunter's Hollow, Grisati Rebel Motors, Treasurer's Jewelry, University Sporting Goods, Belk Ford, Johnson's Furniture, Taco Bell, Mechanics Bank, serving you in 3 locations, State Farm Insurance agents Tom Davis and Marty Stark, Dr. Chris Matthews, the Ajax Diner, and Nationwide Furniture and Pawn coming on board this week. So we'd like to thank all of our fine sponsors who help us bring you Charger football and Lafayette County football here each week on Channel 12. 3rd down and a long 19. They go up the middle with it.
Hernando choosing to be very careful with the football as it was 3rd and long, not wanting to risk a turnover this deep in their territory, giving Oxford another chance to score here before the half. But we do need to see the Oxford offense come out and make some attempt as the time in the first half is winding down, but we need to see some positive things, some positive plays before the half where they can go in and talk about them at the halftime.
We're under a minute to go in the half. Back to punt for Hernando, Jeremy McCallum. And so now the refs come in and stop play. And it looks like a delay of game. So they're wanting to run that clock down just as low as they can before they have to kick it away. Anthony Smith back deep to receive for Oxford. Charles Welshins comes running off. 31.7 seconds to go.
We haven't seen the Chargers make a big play in the last several games. This might be the time right here. There'll definitely be a nice time for them to take this kickoff back for a touchdown, but we haven't seen them break a long play here in the last couple of games.
7-0, Hernando leading. The Chargers have already blocked 1 punt tonight. They come after this one, but he gets it away, and it's a good kick. Driving Smith back, and he'll just let it hit. And it's down at the 48-yard line by Hernando. And so the Chargers will take over with 22 seconds to go here in the half. maybe they can get a couple of shots at the end zone here and make something happen, possibly tie this game up or get a field goal. They have two. Well, Oxford has used up all of their timeouts. So they'll have to try to get something around the sideline areas. Kent Gowan, wide right. Andre Redden, and now we've got a penalty marker. They may have had too many men on the field.
I think that was a call. Either that or, I don't know if it's illegal in high school for you to break huddle with more than 11 men or not, but they definitely did that.
Derek Fortenberry trying to get off the field before the play started and unable to do so, in the opinion of the sideline official. So that puts the Chargers back at the 44-yard line, 1st and 15. With 22 seconds to go in the half. That's the important number here. Barnes back to throw. Throws it deep down the right side, looking for Gowan, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Edwards, and now he flips it off to another Hernando player, still on his feet. Gary Pollard. Edwards intercepted the pass.
Flags coming in after the play. Could be a personal foul.
2.7 seconds to go. We have a Hernando player still on the field.
And Brad, if this is a personal foul against Oxford, that'll be 15 yards closer.
You see Delwan Robinson, number 9, reacting there. He's an emotional football player.
You can just tell he likes to play this game. I missed a call. I saw it was against Oxford. I didn't see what the call was. I saw a Hernando player down at the 50-yard line. It appeared that he had been hit in the back. So that's. So spot of the foul call. And it's 15 yards. It's exactly what I thought it was. Clip.
It's a clip. So Hernando will have first down at the 37-yard line of Oxford. With 2.7 seconds left, they should have a shot at the end zone here. Dockery, the quarterback. 3 receivers to the right. He goes over the middle, intended for Cleveland, and he short hopped it. Incomplete. So that will run out the first half. It's been a defensive football game with the Hernando Tigers on top 7-0. You're watching Charger football on Galaxy.
Ms. May Shelby, who is our city council advisor. It's always nice and possible, and we'd like to present you with some flowers to show how much we love and adore you, Ms. Shelby. Thank you. Tonight's crown bearers are Harrison Dickens. He is the son of Dr. Britt Dickens and Mary Charles Dickens. And we also have Mary Ivan Montgomery, helping us like Jerry and Allison Montgomery. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, Miss Jasmine Thursby, the 1999 homecoming queen, and Oxford High School principal, Dr. Britt Dickens, will crown this year's queen. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2000 homecoming queen is Candy Vaughn.
And we are back ready to start the second half here at Bobby Holcomb Field. There's a witch on the field, but it's the Oxford offense that was bewitched in the first half as they trail 7-0 to Hernando. And both offenses struggled in that first half, Scott.
They really did. After Hernando took the opening drive and just kind of marched it right down and scored, you thought, well, you know, we may be in for a long night, but both offenses struggled. Balls on the ground, turnovers, penalties, about everything you could have. And so we've got a 7-0 ball game here starting the third quarter.
Oxford, kick received by Jason Keller. Keller comes up to the 20 on the right side, now changes his field. Going left, now out across the 30 to the 35, and a good pickup by Jason Keller. He came all the way up the right sideline to the 20-yard line and saw that he was stopped. And so then he just turned around and headed across the the other way and picked up 15 more yards to help the Chargers get off to good field position here to start the second half. 7-0 the score. Hernando on top. They took the opening drive of the ball game, 16 plays, 9.5 minutes, and punched it in for a score, and that's been all the scoring thus far. 1st and 10 Chargers, I formation. Here's Barnes, hands off to Nevin Mitchell. Mitchell around the right side, eludes a man, and still on his feet. And a good pickup that time for Nevin of about 8 yards.
Mitchell able to elude a tackle in the backfield, get upfield for a gain of 8 or 9 yards there on 1st down.
I only had Oxford with 26 yards of total offense in the first half, so just not much happening for the Chargers. 2nd down, 2. Here's Barnes looking for Kent Gowan on the left side, has it complete for about a 7-yard pickup to Kent and a 1st down for the Chargers.
That's good for a 1st down, but again, we talked about this in the first half, having to throw the football completely across the field. If a Hernando defender ever picks up on this in time, they're going to have a touchdown when he picks the ball off, because there's going to be nobody there to tackle him after he picks it off.
1st and 10 Chargers, ball on their own 48-yard line, I formation. They give it to Harris, the first man through, twisting and turning his way for about a yard.
Not much running room as these Hernando Tigers able to plug up the hole very quickly, bringing Oxford running back down for a gain of about 1.
2nd down, 9. Anthony Smith, Derek Fortenberry check into the game. Receivers for the Chargers. Vincent Camper in at tailback now. They give it to Nevin Mitchell, the up back, and Nevin is knocked down as he just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, as I was looking into the center of the line, the offensive line, to see what kind of job they were going to be doing run blocking, and just missed a tackle altogether. It appeared, as far as from the center of the line, that there was that the Oxford Chargers had it under control, but evidently the left side, the right side of the line broke down, and the running back could not get through.
3rd and 9. Barnes pump fakes, now goes down the right side looking for Gowan, and he overthrew him. Covered by Edwards for Hernando. So that brings up 4th down, and the Chargers will have to punt.
Barnes just not quite as sharp as we've seen him in a couple of the games past, overshooting Gowan there, and we've seen a couple other instances as well.
Barnes only 2 out of 5 in the first half. Joseph McGlown in to attempt the punt. Kyle Cleveland back to receive. No, they fake it. Snap it to Barnes. He tries to throw to Jason Keller, and it's incomplete. They've shown that formation a couple of times tonight with Turner Barnes as one of the up backs there on the punt formation, and that time they snapped it to him. But his pass was intended for Keller. He short hopped him. So they'll turn it over on downs with 9:24 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, they give Hernando good field position as they start just inside of the Oxford territory.
1st and 10 Hernando at the 50. They give it to Crawford. Crawford up the middle, fighting his way for about 4 yards. Josh Ivy there on the tackle.
Coach Hill deciding to roll the dice here early in the second half, trying to get something on going offensively. Unfortunately, it came up just a little bit short.
I have Kendrick Crawford with over 100 yards rushing on 16 carries. He has handled the ball on seemingly every play tonight for Hernando. They hand it off to Crawford again around the right side, and he's got good running room. Knocked out of bounds. Andre Redden there to push him out.
You know, it's Crawford. He's just got good speed, good instincts about running the football. As he appeared that he was going to turn the ball up just as he turned on the end of the line there, but he saw a better opportunity as he bounced it to the outside and was able to pick up good yardage, outrunning the defenders to the sideline.
10-yard pickup for Crawford. Another first down for Hernando. Leading 7-0, I formation. They give it to the first man through, Michael Rice. And Rice has a couple, maybe 3 yards before he runs into the pile. Justin Murphy there to make the tackle.
Brad, you kind of get the impression that this is a kind of game that Hernando likes to play. Just maybe not a high-scoring game, but they're just going to control the ball and just grind it out on you.
Coach Anthony Jenkins, he likes to run the football, run the football. That's all they want to do if you talk to him. 2nd down, 7. They give it to Crawford again up the middle. And he's going to be close to another first down. Donald Cole there in on the tackle.
Well, again, when you're running behind an offensive line the size of Hernando, I'm sure that any coach would like to say they want to run the football.
They've got some big guys up front. This was a team that Lafayette looked very tough against up at Hernando here about 3 weeks ago, but they lost their starting quarterback in that ball game. They had to play without him for most of the night, but the play calling didn't change much, Scott, without him in there. Crawford again on the carry.
They're definitely not writing the victory or loss on the arm of the quarterback, but maybe on his decision as to who to hand it to.
5-yard pickup and another first down.
This drive looks a lot like the first drive of the game as Hernando just controlling the whole line of scrimmage.
Now they send Rice in motion to the right. I formation. They pitch it back to Crawford again. And not much there this time for Kendrick. Picked up maybe a yard. Donald Cole.
I believe that was Donald Cole that put the big hit on the running back Crawford to stop that for just a little minimal gain.
Pickup of 1 that time.
Need a couple more of those to get the football back.
Second down, 9. 6:13 to go. 3rd quarter. Again, Rice goes in motion left. Penalty markers come in. They give it to Crawford. And he's met by Chad Youngblood and Justin Murphy.
I believe we're going to have a legal motion against Hernando.
It looked like maybe Rice turned it up before the snap. So illegal shift is the call.
I believe if I'm Oxford, I decline this.
He didn't pick up, I don't think he picked up anything on that carry. But they do take the penalty. And move the Tigers back 5 yards. So that brings up 2nd down, about 15 yards to go. 14 yards to go. From the 28-yard line, they hand it off. No, it's quarterback on the keeper, Dockery. But we've got a penalty marker now. Jason Keller over there to make the tackle near the boundary. And it's a personal foul against the Oxford Chargers. And so that will hurt.
I missed exactly what it was. It may have been a face mask. I don't know. I didn't see it, but it looked like it was thrown over close to where the tackle was made. This is going to move the ball half the distance to the goal line. Be first down.
He picked up about 12 yards on the carry, all the way down to about the 15-yard line. So a big penalty that hurts the Chargers and puts Hernando in good scoring position. They hand it off. Crawford, hard running for the end zone, and touchdown. Touchdown, Hernando. Kendrick Crawford with an 8-yard run. On to attempt the extra point is Kenny Porter. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it's good. And so with 5:25 to go, third quarter, Hernando takes a 14-0 lead over the Chargers. You're watching Oxford Charger football on Galaxy Channel 12. And we're back here in Oxford. Hernando kicking off. Jason Keller receives it at the 1-yard line. Comes up the left side, now cuts it back toward the middle. There to make the stop for Hernando, number 89, Jeffrey Amos.
Yeah, the Oxford Charger offense has got to do something and get a little momentum going. As Hernando right now is just getting it all on their side. The team's pumped up. They're running onto the field. You can tell they're just full of enthusiasm right now. So Oxford needs to try to do something to get a little momentum going their way and get a score and get back in the game. It's not too late. It's down 2 scores. So
5:26 to go, third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Turner Barnes in at quarterback. Vincent Camper, the deep back. Nevin Mitchell, the up back. They give it to Camper. And that's Vincent's first carry of the night. Not much there. A couple of yards.
They just need a big play of some kind to happen here and get the momentum a little bit back in their favor. They've not really been able to generate a whole lot of offense the entire game.
2nd down 2. Ball on the 18-yard, 2nd down 7. Ball on the 18-yard line. Here's Barnes, straight drop, looking over the middle. Now has to run with it. And not much there for Turner. Justin Wilson there to make the tackle.
Josh Ivy broke wide open right over the middle, but quarterback not able to pick him up in time as the rush was getting to him.
Brings up 3rd down, about 4 yards to go. Chargers really need to get something going. Anthony Smith wide to the right. Jason Keller wide left. Harris and Mitchell in the backfield. Here's Barnes rolling right, going to keep. Has the first down, still on his feet. Down the sidelines. He may go. Turner Barnes all the way for a touchdown. And we've got a penalty marker coming in over here on the sideline, and they may have to bring this one back.
I think it's going to come back, and the bad part about it is it's coming back. The bad part about it is the play was already ahead of the, already gone by the point that the foul took place. It's another clip. It's the 3rd clip that Oxford has had tonight.
So a big penalty. Turner Barnes looked like he was trying to run a little bit of an option play down the right side. Decided to tuck it in and keep it himself.
Well, it's exactly what we were talking about in the first half. Just seemed like Oxford hadn't had the huge play that you normally see a team get every now and then, and there it was. But had an illegal block in the back.
That would have been a 78-yard touchdown run.
I still believe it'll be a first down, though, Brad, as that's going to be a spot foul. Even with the penalty, it looks like it'll be enough for the first down.
And I think you're right, Scott. It will be a first down at the 34.
The clip occurred about the 50. Barnes was already about the 45, so he was 5 yards ahead of where the penalty actually took place. So just an unfortunate turn of events.
1st and 10 Chargers, I formation, 2 receivers to the left. They give it to Nevin Mitchell, and Nevin is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Oxford has just had a very difficult time running this football anywhere up the middle, and now we got another penalty marker.
That's going to be a personal foul on Hernando, I believe, number 9.
Delwan Robinson, and he has been a fiery player all night long. And that is a call, personal foul. So that'll be a 15-yarder. And while the Chargers would love to have that touchdown back, they get a big break right there.
Well, every now and then you can let your emotions get a little bit too carried away. That's what happened in that situation. A little toning going on.
The head coach, Anthony Jenkins, for Hernando, talking things over with Delwan Robinson, telling him to calm down. They really need him in this ball game. Here's a quick pass out to Anthony Smith, and he slips a tackle. Anthony down to the 31-yard line.
Well, you look up, the Chargers have got it going all of a sudden. Maybe the big play by the quarterback got it going, even though it was a call back on a penalty. Sometimes that still gives your team a little bit of a boost.
3:10 to go, 3rd quarter. If the Chargers could punch one in here, they'd be right back in this ball game. Hernando in danger of having too many men on the field as Big Watley was trying to get off. Barnes hit as he throws, gets it complete to Keller on the left side. Jason Keller slipping, tackles, and he's hammered. Oh, man.
Good grief. It's number 9.
That's Delwan Robinson. And, man.
I hadn't seen a hit like that all year. Deke Leader.
Delwan Robinson, when I talked to the Hernando coaches, he was the guy on defense that they talked about as the playmaker, and you see why.
I tell you what, I believe Oxford's players will be staying away from him. He just got mad about that 15-yard penalty a second ago.
2 receivers wide to the right. They give it to Vincent Camper up the middle. Camper high stepping through the line. Still on his feet. Can he get to the end zone? Yes, he can. Touchdown. No flags. We've got a player down for Hernando. That looks like Michael Rice. But a 17-yard touchdown run by Vincent Camper. And he would not be denied.
That's just a situation where Camper was not going to be stopped shy of that end zone. Hernando not doing a very good job of tackling there, but Camper, a lot of that was just his determination to get 6 points.
And we're about ready to attempt the extra point. Derek Fortenberry will try the kick. Gowan to hold. Harris to snap. And the kick is up and good. So with 2:25 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's 14-7 now. Hernando on top. And so we'll keep it right here, and that will give us an opportunity to tell you about the folks who help us bring you Oxford Charger football each week here on Galaxy Channel 12. Tonight's game being brought to you by Cheney's Pharmacy, by Pylon Wholesale Furniture, by Glenn Brown Insurance, by Dr. Watt Bishop Orthodontics, by Ray's Supermarket, by Hunter's Hollow, by Grisanti Rebel Motors, by Treasures Jewelry in the Oxford Mall, by University Sporting Goods, by Belk Ford on Highway 6 West in Oxford, by Johnson's Furniture, by Taco Bell, by Mechanics Bank, serving you in 3 locations, by State Farm Insurance agents Tom Davis and Marty Stark, by the Ajax Diner on the Square in Oxford, and by Nationwide Furniture and Pawn. Tonight's game also being brought to you by Dr. Chris Matthews Family Dentistry on 229 South 9th Street in Oxford. Call 236-5858 for an appointment. Dr. Matthews taking care of all your dental needs, from regular preventive dental care all the way up to tooth whitening and cosmetic restoration. Call 236-5858 for Dr. Chris Matthews Family Dentistry here in Oxford. Brad Kennedy, Scott McCord, Rob Morgan along with you, and suddenly the crowd back into this thing as the Chargers have put a touchdown on the board and trail 14-7 with 2:25 to go in the third quarter. Sims ready to kick off. Back deep is Edwards and Crawford to receive for Hernando, and there's a kick, and it comes down to Crawford at the 5. Crawford cuts it up the right side, and he's dragged down. That was Nicholas Thompson, I believe, number 27. He's the one who made the tackle. With 2:18 to go here in the third quarter, Hernando will take over on their own 17-yard line. We've played this ball game seemingly on the Oxford end of the field all night long. So here's Hernando having to start on their own end. 3 backs in the backfield. Dockery hands it off to Crawford. Crawford on the right side, pushed out of bounds by Youngblood.
Well, let's see if this momentum will spill over to this defense and possibly make a big play here, get the football back, get the offense back on the field, as they've just gained a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence, to see if we can't tie this football game up. Just remember, this is a district game, and the loser of this game is pretty much, they're going to have a lot of help if they get to go on to the district playoffs.
Both teams come in at 3-1 in division play. There's a handoff up the middle. Good pickup, about 4 or 5 yards. Looks still to be shy of the first down. Itawamba in first place in Division I 4A. They are undefeated.
Really not much of a way at this point. They're not going to make the playoffs, you would think.
Hernando hosts Itawamba next week, and that'll be a tough football game, a physical football game, you know. And of course here in Oxford next week, it's the annual Crosstown Classic between the Lafayette Commodores and the Oxford Chargers. Remember to get your tickets early for that one if you want to attend. There's a handoff up the middle again, and they appear to have the first down. Out to about the 28-yard line. Josh Ivy there on the stop.
If the Chargers could win tonight, and Lafayette wins like they should at Holly Springs, then what you've got is a situation, again, like we stated earlier, where Oxford and Lafayette is playing to see who goes to the playoffs. I know you don't need any more fuel on the fire, but that sure would add a little bit of more intensity and a little more meaning to this game.
They hand it off again up the middle. Not much there on first down.
Beginning to see Youngblood really turn the intensity up. He's in on almost every stop, it seems like, here in the last couple possessions. And as it's been all year, I believe he's a defensive leader on the field without question.
Of course, we'll have the Crosstown Classic here next week on Galaxy Channel 12. If you're unable to attend, tune us in next Saturday morning. The final regular season game. They send Rice in motion to the right. 2nd down, 8. They pitch it back to Crawford. Crawford on the right side. Not much there. And the ball may have popped out, but he was down. Justin Murphy leading the charge.
You might be wondering who, if Oxford or Lafayette advances, who they'll be playing, and we're not sure at this time.
Well, we'll talk more about the playoff picture here in the fourth quarter. We've come to the end of the third quarter with Hernando in front, 14-7. You're watching Charger football on Galaxy. And welcome back here to Bobby Holcomb Field in Oxford. We're just about set to get underway in the fourth quarter, 14-7. Hernando on top, working with the football on their own 31-yard line. 3rd down and 7. A big 3rd down play for the Charger defense. They fake the handoff to Crawford. Here's quarterback rolling to his left and throws incomplete. Dockery hasn't had much success throwing the football tonight. So that brings up 4th down, and Hernando will have to punt. And the clock yet to start. So a free play for the Chargers. They get a break that time, as that play took no time off the clock. In the punt for Hernando, Jeremy McCallum. Back deep, Anthony Smith.
Well, I'm told at one time a real famous college game at LSU threw 4 forward passes with only 3 seconds on the clock to beat Mississippi State. So I guess anything.
Well, yeah, you may be thinking about the Burt Jones Ole Miss LSU game.
No, Jerry Clower played in this game.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big State fan.
We got Justin Wilson playing in this game tonight.
And we got a witch on the field, so anything can happen.
Get the punt away. End over end kick hits at the 40 and rolls dead at about the 35-yard line.
I think Oxford Chargers touched
must
the ball.
have touched that football. And evidently they did. Hernando picks it up and runs it all the way in for a touchdown. Let's see who that was on the recovery. Looks like 52, Ben Perry. Well, anything can happen.
It's a situation of not knowing exactly where you're at on the field. Oxford Charger player never knew the ball was there. He stepped on it as he was trying to make a block. And Hernando alertly realized the official's whistle never blew, picked the football up and ran it in for a score. We do have officials are conferring here to make sure, though, that the ball was touched by Oxford Charger.
Well, if they were to overturn this, and we've got an official's timeout. So it may be a 1st down back where the ball
was originally recovered.
They're not able to advance that ball. So
I learned something tonight.
Well, a big break. A big break for Oxford. I thought for a moment that he was going to say 1st down Oxford. Of course, he probably would have had some Hernando coaches on top of his head at that point.
Number
Players,
9.
fans, and part of the band, too, maybe. So it's 1st and 10, Hernando at the 34-yard line. They give it to Crawford. Crawford still on his feet on the left side and pushed out of bounds. Jason Keller and Anthony Smith over there to make the stop.
One thing about this Hernando team, they've taken advantage of every situation that they've been given tonight. On the fake punt earlier that was unsuccessful, they were able to score their 2nd touchdown. Now they get a turnover deep in Oxford territory, and on the first play, a real nice run by Crawford.
A 1st down, 1st and 10, the ball on the 19-yard line. 11:27 to go, 4th quarter. 3 backs in the backfield. They give it to Crawford again. Crawford up the middle. He's met by a gang of Oxford defenders. Nevin Mitchell, Jason Keller there to help make the tackle.
One thing you are seeing, though, Brad, is the Oxford defense is getting to to the point of attack seemingly quicker than they were earlier. Maybe that's from some of these big offensive linemen wearing down for Hernando as the game is going on.
6-yard pickup for Crawford. 2nd down, 4. We're about to go under 11 minutes to go in the game. Ball on the 13-yard line of Oxford. They hand it off to Crawford again. I don't think he's getting tired.
No.
He's not showing it if it is.
Give me the ball.
Youngblood there to make the tackle. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, we need a big stop right here. Maybe go for it on 4th and we get the ball back.
The touched punt that was recovered by Hernando, hurting the Chargers right now. Here's a handoff, stopped in the backfield. Donald Cole there to make the stop. Gary Pollard.
Cole just reading the play all the way, breaking through and making a great tackle. It's going to force fourth down here.
A loss back to the 15-yard line, closer to the 14, and so McCallum will come on and attempt a field goal. It'll be a 33-yard attempt as they put it down at the 23. McCallum against Lafayette looked like a pretty good field goal kicker. The kick is away and right down the middle. So the turnover hurts the Chargers with 9:22 to go in the game. 17-7, Hernando on top. You're watching Charger football on Channel 12.
Everyone enjoys shopping in a clean, friendly, and pleasant family environment where you know years of experience are reflected in the products and services you receive. And best of all, it is the people you know because it is locally owned and operated. That's why the people keep coming back to Ray's Supermarket in Oxford. They stock everything you would expect a full-line grocery store to have. But in addition to promoting good food values, they promote family values in choosing to operate an alcohol-free business. Ray's Supermarket welcomes and appreciates your grocery business. Ray's Supermarket, East University Avenue, Oxford.
You're watching the game of the week on cable, Channel 12 Oxford.
And we're back here in Oxford. McCallum kicks off, and we've got penalty markers. And Hernando may have been offsides on the kickoff. 17-7, and that is a call, offsides against the Tigers. So they'll kick it over. 9:20 to go in the ball game. Hernando connecting on a 33-yard field goal by Jeremy McCallum to go up 17-7 after an error on fielding a punt. The ball was touched inadvertently by an Oxford player, and Hernando quickly picked it up, and they thought they had a touchdown, but they were unable to advance the football. But they get a field goal out of it anyway. So we'll kick it off again. Line drive kick fielded by Andre Redden back at the 5. Redden up the right side. Now is going to come left. Got a couple of defenders over there. Here's Redden out across midfield. That's the second time tonight, Scott, that we've seen an Oxford kick returner go to one side of the field and then reverse his field completely the other direction and pick up good positive yardage out of it.
You got to hand it to your blockers there. A lot of times when you see that happen, you'll have one of those illegal block in the backs, but that hadn't been the case tonight, as Oxford blockers have been able to stay in front of their man and just keep everything moving forward.
So the Chargers take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line of Hernando. They hand it off to Nevin Mitchell. Nevin slips a tackle, breaks another one. Nevin down the sideline to the 20, to the 10. Will he go? Touchdown, Nevin Mitchell. But we've got a penalty marker A penalty marker all the way back at the 46-yard line. Turner Barnes talking to the official. We'll hold the celebration for just a minute.
Coach Hill may blow an engine if he sees clipping called again here.
And it's illegal motion.
2 touchdowns called back in the same game.
A 78-yard run by Turner Barnes, called back earlier on a clip. Mistakes at critical points in the ball game, hurting the Chargers. So instead of a Nevin Mitchell touchdown, it'll be a 5-yard penalty. And 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line in Oxford territory. 9:05 to go in the game, clock running. Barnes back to throw, under pressure, eludes a man, eludes another man. Now going to run, not much there. Picks up maybe a couple of yards.
Well, it's got to take a lot of wind out of your sail to see a guy score a touchdown, be called back on something like a legal procedure. Just mistakes, 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 and you just can't have them when you get to this stage in the season playing a team as good as Hernando.
Second down, 14, 8:15 to go in the game. 2 receivers to the left, Fortenberry and Gowan. And now whistles blow, and they'll stop this play before it starts.
I believe it's going to be a legal procedure again.
And that is the call. So that brings up, that'll make it 2nd down and 19 from the 45.
Brad, I've consulted a couple of people here, and it appears we believe that the 2nd place team out of this district would play probably Clarksdale. That appears to be the district that 1-4A would play.
Here's Barnes, pump fakes, now going deep down the left side for Gowan. And just off of his hands, Orthel Edwards there covering. Some of the fans thought there might have been some contact there before the ball arrived. But the official didn't see it that way, so it brings up 3rd down and 19. As we look at Division I 4A, Itawamba 4-0. Then you have Oxford, Lafayette, and Hernando all at 3-1, and then Holly Springs at 1-3, Tishomingo at 1-4, and Alcorn Central at 0-5. Those 3 are out of it. But Lafayette, Oxford, and Hernando, these last 2 games, crucial. And they're playing for the right to travel to Clarksdale. Here's a quick pass to Keller on the left side. He's tripped up by Michael Rice. Not much of a gain.
Of course, you know, Brad, Clarksdale is a perennial 4A power as they moved down from 5A just about 4 or 5 years ago, and have really been in the state playoffs and in the championship hunt every year, and are again this year as they roll through their district one more time down there. So it'd be a tough task for this 2nd place team to go down there and play the Wildcats.
4th down, McGlone on to punt. Cleveland back to receive. Gets the kick away, short kick, and it's fielded short by the quarterback, Kevin Dockery. He plays quarterback. Charles Welshin there to make the tackle. So an alert play by Dockery to go ahead and catch that football and set his team up in good field position on their own 43-yard line with 6:57 to go in the contest. Of course, the other division, Class 4A power, Louisville, they've already locked up the division title, 5-0 in Division 2 4A. Noxubee County at 4-0 there. They'll probably be the runner-up.
We were mentioning earlier, if we get a new regional type of playoff system, what that allows is for more than the top 2 teams to go. Your top 4 teams will probably go out of each region, and so you wouldn't have a team like we had last year where Houston, for instance, had 1 division loss, but yet did not make it into the playoff due to a tiebreaker.
2nd down, 6. 3 backs in the backfield. And now we got some movement before the snap. Along the offensive line of Hernando, it appeared.
Things getting a little bit sloppy here in the later going.
An illegal motion to call. So that'll move Hernando back 5 yards. Back to the 44. Make it the 43-yard line. 6:17 to go in the game. Clock running. 17-7. Hernando Tigers on top. The Chargers have had plenty of opportunities in this ball game, just unable to cash in. They give it to Crawford, dancing around the left side. Picks up a couple of yards before he's dragged out of bounds. Donald Cole over there on the tackle.
Brad, the top team in the area is rated by the Northeast Daily Journal. Shannon taking a big blow last week as their star quarterback goes down with a broken leg. He will not be back for the rest of the season. So we're going to see how that's going to upset the power balance in that division.
Well, you got Shannon, Amory, and Houston. And I believe Shannon and Amory will play next week. Here's Dockery on the keeper, and he stopped. Nevin Mitchell over there to make the tackle. Helped out by Rawson.
We got Amory and Houston playing tonight, so that's a key matchup in that division.
Shannon has already beaten Houston earlier this year. Let's see if they play next week. Shannon at Amory. Big rivalry game there, but the landscape has changed without Ken Tops in the lineup for Shannon. Here's a punt by McCallum. Good high kick. Fair catch called for by Anthony Smith, and he lets it bounce. And he'll just. And I don't know what happened right there. He tried to cover that football. I don't know if he was confused maybe about where the ball was. Certainly it didn't touch anybody. But the Chargers will start out in terrible field position on their own 3-yard line with 4:55 to go in the game. Of course, another division where things are up in the air, the Ripley, Corinth, and Pontotoc. We talked about the Pontotoc-Corinth game tonight. Pontotoc and Corinth. Pontotoc 8-1, Corinth 9-0, or 8-0. And so you could have a situation right there with a team with 1 loss possibly getting left out. Ripley with only 1 loss in that division so far. They defeated Pontotoc.
Yeah, the key is going to be if Pontotoc can beat Corinth tonight, then that sure throws that district into turmoil, as that would give 3 teams just 1 loss apiece.
That'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 3-yard line. The other 3A division that everyone around here concerned about is Division 3 3A with Water Valley. They're 4-0 in the district, 8-1 overall. And then you've got Rosa Fort 5-1 in the division. Who does Water Valley play next week, Scott?
I'll have to check.
4:25 to go in the ball game. 3rd and 10. The ball on the 3-yard line. Chargers backed up close to their own goal line. Need 2 scores to possibly tie this game up. Water Valley closes out the season at Independence next week. So barring a loss there, here's Barnes scrambling and completing a pass to Kent Gowan out at the 15, and should be enough for a first down.
Barnes is shook up on the play as he was hit after he released the ball. He stood in there as long as he could and delivered a perfect ball across the middle.
Turner appears to be okay. Heads back into the huddle. He's a tough competitor. We've seen that all year. Nevin Mitchell, the lone back. 2 receivers split wide to either side. Here's a draw play to Mitchell. Mitchell, spin move. Gets away out to the 30. Now fumbles the football. It's on the ground. Still loose. And I don't know who recovered that one. Hernando says they did. And they did. So a big turnover with 3:24 to go in the football game. Hernando on top 17-7. And that may seal it right there.
I believe that's the second fumble that Mitchell's had tonight. You certainly can't fault his effort as he was just giving an all-out effort. Had a touchdown call back earlier, and on that play had a good gain. Just had the ball knocked loose there right before he was tackled. Hernando able to recover the ball.
Well, we've got a timeout on the field. That will give us an opportunity to tell you about our sponsors here on Channel 12. Cheney's Pharmacy, Pylon Wholesale Furniture, Glenn Brown Insurance, Dr. Watt Bishop Orthodontics, Ray's Supermarket, Hunter's Hollow, Grisani Rebel Motors, Treasurer's Jewelry in the Oxford Mall, University Sporting Goods, Belk Ford on Highway 6 West in Oxford, Johnson's Furniture, Taco Bell, Mechanics Bank with 3 locations to serve you, State Farm Insurance agents Tom Davis and Marty Stark, the Ajax Diner on the Square in Oxford, and Nationwide Furniture and Pawn. Tonight's game also brought to you by Dr. Chris Matthews Family Dentistry on 229 South 9th Street in Oxford. Call 236-5858 for an appointment and see Dr. Chris Matthews and his staff for all of your dental care needs. Brad Kennedy, Scott McCord, Rob Morgan with you here from Bobby Holcomb Field in Oxford. 3:24 to go in the game. 17-7, Hernando in front. Homecoming festivities all night long. But the homecoming with a little bit of a bittersweet taste if this game keeps going the way it is. Here's a handoff to Crawford. Penalty markers down.
Crawford just seems to be one of these running backs that gets stronger and stronger as the game goes on. He looks like couldn't tell any difference there between the first time he ran the football.
He's close to about 30 carries for the ball game, it seems like. He doesn't get much in the way of rest during a football game. He's out there to play.
I believe we had holding. Had holding on Hernando, so that moves the ball back where he play first down.
First and 20. Ball on the 43-yard line. Kevin Dockery at quarterback. They hand it off up the middle. Again, it's Crawford. Youngblood and Welshon's there to make the tackle. So now we've got a timeout with Oxford. We'll take one as well. With 3:16 to go in the ball game, 17-7, Hernando on top. You're watching Charger football. And we're back here in Oxford. Second down play for Hernando. Not much there. Kendrick Crawford on the carry. Youngblood to make the stop. Just a reminder that tickets for the Crosstown Classic, Lafayette High School, Oxford High School, go on sale Monday. You can buy your tickets at either of the two schools or at University Sporting Goods on the square. Lafayette High School will be hosting this game with kickoff set for 7:30. Tickets are $5 each and must be purchased in advance. There will be no tickets sold in the game. Ticket sales will end at noon Friday. So all sales are first come, first served, and a limited supply is available. Fans must purchase their tickets for the one side or the other of the stadium. So if you want to go, well, we got a fumble recovered by the Chargers with 2:22 to go, so a little bit of life still left.
Well, there's several things that can happen if the Chargers could score. Got a situation where you could try an onside kick, get the ball back. So the ball game's definitely not over, but I mean the Charger offense has got to make things happen quickly now.
So 1st and 10 for the Chargers at their own 41, and they do have to work quickly. 2 timeouts left. Turner Barnes calling the play. Mitchell, the lone setback, 2 receivers split wide to either side. Barnes looking for Jason Keller and has it complete. Out at the 42-yard line and out of bounds. A first down.
Brad, I think Coach Hill ought to bring this team out and let them go about 3 quarters against each other before they start, because they've just been a slow starting team all year long.
1st and 10, ball on the 41-yard line. 2 receivers to either side. Mitchell the setback. Barnes back to throw over the middle, and it's almost picked off. Kevin Dockery had it in his hands. Pass intended for Jason Keller, just a little bit high.
He put some mustard on that ball too, as he threw that ball pretty hard.
Brings up 2nd and 10. 2:13 to go in the game. Chargers with 2 timeouts, trailing by 10. Here's Barnes. They give it on the little delayed handoff to Nevin Mitchell, and Nevin's still on his feet. Pickup of a couple, but that's not really what they want here. So we've got an injured player, and now we've got a timeout called by Oxford. So with that timeout, we'll take one as well. 2:01 to go in the game, 17-7 Hernando. You're watching Charger football in Oxford. 2 minutes to go in the game. Chargers trail 17-7. Here's Barnes looking deep down the field. Pass caught. Anthony Smith with a sparkling catch.
Well, we may have a ball game before this is all over after all with plays like that. Punch a touchdown in here. Onside kick. Who knows what could happen.
1:54 to go. 1st and goal at the 5. They hand it off Nevin Mitchell. Not much there. And now it looks like Oxford will take another timeout. So we will take one also with 1:43 to go in the ball game. 17-7 Hernando. You're watching. 2nd and goal from the 4. 1:43 to go in the game. Chargers trail by 10. Here's Barnes rolling left, looking to the end zone for Gowan, and he's wide open. A 4-yard touchdown pass to Kent Gowan. That makes it 17-13. 1:38 to go in the ball game.
No flags.
No flags on that one. First touchdown pass of the night. Fortenberry on to attempt the extra point. Harris to snap. Gowan to hold. Bad snap, gets away. Fortenberry tries to flip it over in the end zone. to Camper. And Vincent Camper was just leveled before that football got there.
He was pretty much leveled, all right.
Anyway, the Chargers now trail by 4, 17-13, with 1:28 to go in the ball game. So you have to expect the onside kick play.
That's really a big miss. That's a big extra point miss there, because it forces you to have to score a touchdown. In this case, it would win the game, but otherwise, a field goal would have tied the game and allowed you to go into overtime.
Well, they won't have to make that decision now as to whether to try the field goal or not, because it's touchdown time all the way.
Well, they probably had that on their mind anyway, as the momentum has somewhat swung in their favor. And if they could get this onside kick, this is going to be kind of interesting.
Hernando's players well aware of what's about to happen.
Well, if you really go back and think about it, Oxford has outscored Hernando by 3 touchdowns. 2 of those were called back, though.
Little trickery, and the onside kick recovered by Hernando, and the Tigers will take over at their own 47-yard line.
They just did not get the bounce that you hope you get in that situation. You want the football, instead of staying on the ground like it did there, you want to bounce high in the air and get over that first line of defenders and give your guys a chance to get in there and get on the ball, because it doesn't have to be touched in that situation. It's live from the start.
And so Hernando will take a knee. Oxford cannot stop the clock. They have no timeouts remaining. 1:28 to go, clock running. And it appears that we may be about to run out of tape. We got a backup, okay. So we'll be here for the duration.
You just run the mic and let the cameraman worry about the tape.
We're about to go under a minute as Dockery takes a knee again. So remember, next week, if you want to attend the Oxford-Lafayette football game at Lafayette, get your tickets early. You can purchase your tickets at either of the 2 schools or at University Sporting Goods, and you must designate which side of the field you want to sit on. Tickets will be on sale until noon on Friday, and that's it. No tickets on sale at the game.
Well, now Oxford in a must-win situation next week, and they've got to hope then that Hernando gets beat, which they've got a tough game next week in Itawamba. And so it's still not over for Oxford, but they're back certainly against the wall.
Under 10 seconds to go in the ball game, and the players heading out onto the football field and shake hands, and the buzzer sounds, and that's the end of the football game. A big division victory for the Hernando Tigers, 17-13 over the Oxford Chargers. We'll be back to wrap it up in just a few minutes. You're watching Charger football on Channel 12. And we are back here in Oxford as the players leave the field. 17-13 the final score. Hernando on top. A game that the Chargers had opportunities to get in the ball game and maybe win the game, but a game that the Chargers had opportunities to maybe win the football game, but some costly penalties and costly turnovers come back to haunt them in the end. And the Chargers go down tonight 17-13 and fall to 3-2 in the division, 3-6 overall, as they get ready for next week's Crosstown Classic with the Lafayette Commodores. That game at Commodore Field, 7:30. If you can't make it, we'll have it for you here on Channel 12 next Saturday morning. So be sure to tune in for that one. Both of those teams still alive in the playoff hunt, Scott.
That's correct. We was talking all night long. The loser of this game, their back's against the wall, but certainly they're not out of it. So Oxford looking for a win over at Lafayette next Friday night, and Lafayette looking to win and maybe clinch that second place division.
A win for the Commodores will put them in. So that will just about do it for us here tonight. For Rob Morgan, our cameraman, Scott McCord, this is Brad Kennedy. Good night from Oxford.
You've been watching a presentation of TV7, TV34 Sports, our game of the week on TV7. Thanks for watching TV7, TV34, and all of our cable affiliates. Join us next week for our game of the week, high school football.